Hey everyone, this is Frank from Pagwell the Fab. Recently, I picked up a power hacksaw off of eBay that needed a little bit of TLC. It's unbranded, but it's of the 1960s vintage, possibly a Craftsman or a Covell, and it takes standard hacksaw blades. It's rear cutting, and I could cut up to 4-inch square tubing on it. So originally, when I had bought this saw, it had frayed wiring, which I replaced, and the two blade tensioners needed a little bit of work. So this saw takes a standard hacksaw blade, but after looking at some of the other power hacksaws that are out there, I wanted to be able to retrofit my saw to use the larger and thicker blades that you see on some of the more powerful industrial sized power hacksaws. But I also wanted to keep it original so I could always go back to the original hacksaw blade. So here you can see the difference in blade height and thickness. I mic'd each blade, and the larger blade is about twice the size of the smaller blade, both in thickness and height. So this should help with rigidity. Okay, so the biggest problem with a lot of these power hacksaws that utilize standard hacksaw blades is that you have an 1/8 inch hole for your tensioner, where a bigger power hacksaw has a 5/16 hole. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to convert over to the power hacksaw blade style on my power hacksaw machine that takes standard blades. And you could see already the difference on the diameter, 1/8 of an inch and 5/16 of an inch on the pins. So off comes the small blade along with the tensioners, and I'll hold on to these in case I decide to go back to this setup. And here we have the lower tensioner that's being held in with just a dowel pin. This is the fixed end. And here's a shot of the new tensioners being put in. So here's a quick little tip. Pin punches or an awl make for a good alignment tool. And also one thing you want to be aware of is that this is a cast iron frame. So here you can see I'm kind of beating on it a little bit with a hammer. You just want to be careful you don't hit the cast iron or slip and hit that, because you could risk cracking it. So already with the bigger blade, the saw looks so much cooler, and it looks like it'll cut anything I throw at it. Okay, so here I ran into a little bit of an issue. The blade is slightly longer and it's bottoming out against the frame of the saw. Check out how bowed the blade is. And that's not even with any tension on it yet. Here's a cool trick that I learned over the years for transferring a radius onto a part. You just take a washer, magic marker, lay it down on your part, trace it out, and now you have a good visual guide for your part. Okay, so this is nothing that a belt sander can't fix. Now I could have ground the frame of the saw, but I want to keep everything original, and I'd rather, modify the blade than modify the tool. So here you can see the saw cuts pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I may make some adjustments, maybe try out some other different saw blades, different TPIs, but I'm pretty happy with it, and it looks like the saw is going to be pretty rigid, be really good for me. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.